everyone, my name is Natalie. I'm an international student from Thailand. Today I'm going to give you advice on how to deal with culture difference in college. First of all, I want to say welcome to America to those one of you who just got here this semester. I hope this video will be helpful for you. And for my American friends, don't worry, I also have something for you. I know that some of you might have to work with international students either in class or at workplace. I'm here to give you tips on how to adapt yourself when you have to be around them. Lastly, for our professors, I know that you guys have to work with and deal with international students because you guys probably have them in your class. I'm also here to give you tips on how to deal with them. Let's get started. I'm going to start with don'ts because I think it's very important. When we came from somewhere else, sometimes we don't know their social rules, and it's very important to follow the rules so you don't get into trouble and also get along with everyone.
We question their credibility too, so it's two layers removed. Does that make sense?
เข้าใจปะ
ไม่เข้าใจว่ะแต่ก็ทำเป็นเข้าใจเนาะ
แล้วเราช็อตหน้าเลยเหรอว่าแบบเข้าใจ
ก็ได้เหมือนเอาไหม
คือมันพอยมันพูดภาษาไทยคือพูดถึงมั่ว
พอแล้วล่ะ
So,
yeah
what do you think?
Sounds good, yeah.
Okay. All right, we can move on then.
Yeah, thanks. There's a possibility that you will get in the same group as someone who's from your country, but make sure you speak English because other people can understand too. It's a little bit uncomfortable for people in a group when they don't understand what you're saying. So guys, even though you're from the same country, just speak English so everyone else can understand too.
Hey, that's for disabled people.
So when you see a disability parking, guys, you can park no matter what. Some of us get confused because on the buses, we can sit, but parking spot, no, there's no exception. Even though that's like the very last spot, you can park because you get the ticket. But for the bus, you can sit. But once you see someone who is disabled, you have to move and let them sit. It's a very simple rule. It's just slightly different, but make sure not to forget that you can park no matter what. It's slightly different. It might be different from where you're from, but here they're very, very strict about that.
I think you have to clean that up though.
In a lot of countries, you don't have to clean up yourself after you eat, especially in fast food restaurants. But in America, it's very important to clean up after yourself, especially in fast food restaurants like McDonald's or the Caf or anything. You have to make sure to clean up yourself because if you don't do it, people will look at you as someone who's irresponsible. So make sure not to forget. Let's move on to do's. The first one I'm going to talk about is do ask questions. I know that back in freshman year, I was very scared to ask questions in class because I thought like my English was not good at all, and I was so like worried people would judge my English or the professor wouldn't understand what I say. But guys, it's okay to ask. It's okay to have thick accent. It's totally okay. They're not gonna judge you. They understand you from different country. Trust me, don't be scared to ask questions. Second, join clubs, join organizations. It's really fun, and that's like one of the best way that you can make friends, especially American friends, because I understand that some of you only have friends who are from your country because it's quite hard to get out of your comfort zone. But once you join a club or an organization, it helps you become a lot more comfortable with talking to American people because you'll be like working with them and like getting to know them. And once you get used to, guys, trust me, it's way easier. Like once you like get used to like talking to them. Like now that it's been 2 years for me, and at first I was so nervous like approaching American people because I was nervous that they wouldn't like understand me or they would think like I'm different. But I like joined this one club. It's called MSU Telecasters, and like we make like cool movies for like YouTube channel and stuff like that. And now I feel a lot more comfortable because I got to know them and spend some time working with them. So yeah, thumb ups for all the clubs and organizations. Join. The third one is don't be scared to show your culture. Be yourself. I know like you're trying to fit in, but just still be yourself because we all have different unique things because we grew up differently from different parts of the world, and that's what's fun about it. So even though you're trying to adapt into a new culture, but stay true to yourself and show them your culture, share them your stories from your country. They like it. They think it's interesting. Some of them have never been outside their country, so they like listening to the stories from your country. Back in my freshman year, the first week of school, I invited my roommate who's American to a Thai restaurant, and she loved it. It was her first time trying Thai food, and I'm so happy I got to share it with her, and we became closer because she got to know a little bit more about my background, my culture. So yeah, don't be afraid to share your culture. So for those of you who have international student in your group, or you have to work with international student, it's actually quite simple. They are just human beings just like you. But first thing I want to say is that to try to recognize how their English is. And if it's not that good because maybe they just came here, make sure to speak slower and try to use simple words so they understand it more. Let's say when you're working with them, I understand that there might be a lot of people, but make sure that you speak slower so like he or she could understand, and because I'm sure like they want to be included in a group as well, but sometimes they're not able to understand what like you guys are saying, so like say it slower and so they can understand too. Let's say if they're really quiet because it might be their first year, or they like shy because they might be like a little bit nervous about working in a group because they thought they're like different or like they're not super good in English. You can like ask them questions. They're from somewhere different. They must have something like different to say because they grew up differently than you did. So it's really cool to ask them questions. If they haven't said anything at all, it doesn't mean they don't want to do anything, but sometimes they're just too shy to like bring up something. So ask them questions. Ask them, how do you think about this? How's it like in your country? And I'm sure there would be like some cool and creative ideas from them since they're like from another side of the world, you know? Why not? Ask them questions. It would help. If you see that they're struggling with English, like language or like writing in general, offer them some help. Honestly, that's like the best way. Like if you know that they're like struggling, offer them some help so they feel like they have some support in the team, so they don't feel left out. The first one I'm going to talk about is based on my own personal experience back in freshman year. In a big lecture hall, I got the professor just like randomly walk up to me and said, "You stand up and answer the question." And I was like, oh my god, I knew the answer, but I was so nervous. It was like my first semester. I was so nervous that after that class, I almost feel like I don't want to go to that class anymore because I got so scared. So please, professors, if you know that you have international students, or if you like kind of like recognize that they are, try not to ask them questions. Like especially in a big lecture hall or like in a class that have a lot of students, because it takes a lot for them to like be outspoken in front of like a lot of people, and they're gonna feel like scared to like come to class next time. So if you can avoid that, please do it. If you recognize a student having problem about grammar or writing in general, and it makes his or her grade like not doing so well, make sure to let them know what's the problem they have and give them sources. Maybe tell them to go to writing center or help them out. Do not just give them bad grade from that and not letting them know or say nothing or not giving them any help. At the end of the day, it's a lot harder for them. So reach out to them, give them some help so they can improve for a better project in the future or better paper in the future. Thank you for watching my video. I hope that was useful for everyone, and most of these I got it from my own personal experience, and I also have talked to my friends who are American and international about issue they have in general. So I gather all of this together, and I that will be useful for all of you who watch this, because it obviously could be anyone could watch this. International students, American students, and professors. And yeah, I really hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching it.